I wanted to come at you live this morning because the Patriots could have some major breaking news this afternoon. Wide receiver Stefan Diggs is currently undergoing a physical in Foxborough as we speak. Now, the Patriots have been looking for a big play wide receiver for some time now. They could finally land one today if they can wrap up a deal with the star wide receiver. The only thing with Stefan Diggs, he's coming off an injury. If you remember, he tore his ACL in late October of last year. So if they do sign him, he's probably going to open up the season on the injured reserve list or the PUP. What that means, he will not be available to the team for the first 4 games of the season and potentially could be eligible for the fifth game. I see a scenario like this playing out. He comes in, the Patriots get good news on the physical. Stefan likes the facility, likes playing for head coach Mike Vrabel. He's got ties in Houston with Josh McDaniels, as Josh McDaniels' brother Ben coached him last year. So Josh and the Patriots could be leaning on Ben's advice. There's also another tie. He's familiar with a coach that is on the Patriots coaching staff who coached him in Minnesota. So this could all be favorable to New England. I see a scenario playing out. They bring him in on a 2-year, maybe a 3-year deal, maybe 12 to 15 million a year, a contract that's heavily engrossed with player bonuses. He would provide immediate leadership to a young wide receiving core. He would help young players like Keyshawn Boutte, Jalen Polk, Javon Baker, as well as bring a sense of leadership as well to Mac Hollins, who we just signed, Kendrick Bourne, Demario Douglas going into his 3rd year. So I think this is a very smart move if they can find a way to wrap him up. If you're the Patriots, however, I would still look to maybe draft a wide receiver. Maybe not as high as I thought that they were going to do in the 2nd and 3rd round, but maybe you can find a wide receiver and maybe the end of the 3rd, maybe the 4th and 5th rounds. It's also becoming apparent Coach Mike Vrabel had a plan. His plan was to retool the defense, reshape the defense, which he has done, while filling spots on the offense. Garrett Bradbury at center comes in for David Andrews, who they let go, who failed his physical. Morgan Moses at right tackle, allowing Mike Oweno to move to right guard, which he's excelled at. That solidifies the center, right guard, right tackle positions. Now, left guard is still a question mark. Do they bring in another player on the free agency or do they fill that need in the draft? Or do you give the young guards, tackles that you drafted over the last couple of years, Sidney So, Layden Robinson, Caden Wallace, do you give them a shot to earn that left guard spot? But left tackle is still a glaring need. You still haven't filled it. Left tackles are going off the board as far as free agency. Tristan Wirfs is still out there from Cleveland. Head coach Mike Vrabel was in Cleveland last year working with the offensive line, so maybe he comes in while you draft an offensive tackle. So that becomes a need. How high do you draft a left tackle? Do you take him with the 4th overall pick, or do you take him with the 2nd round pick? Do you trade back into the 1st round to take a left tackle? Those are all questions that are 4.5 weeks out in the draft. I'm thinking the answer is going to become apparent over the next few weeks, depending on where quarterback Russell Wilson lands, depending on where quarterback Aaron Rodgers lands. The Giants, I think, holds all the cards to what the New England Patriots are going to do with the 4th overall pick, because I think the 1st overall pick is going to be quarterback with the Tennessee Titans, and that's going to be Cam Ward out of Miami. Cleveland could take Shedeur Sanders with the 2nd pick, or they could take one of the blue chip can't miss stars in Abdul Carter, defensive edge Abdul Carter from Penn State, or 2-position wide receiver / cornerback star with the Colorado Buffaloes, Travis Hunter. The Giants, I think, are going to take a quarterback at number 3, whether it's Shedeur Sanders or they reach on Jackson Dart. I think it's going to be quarterback. That would leave the Patriots the chance of drafting defensive edge star from Penn State, Abdul Carter, or 2-position wide receiver cornerback star, Heisman Trophy winner from Colorado, Travis Hunter. I think it's going to be Hunter. I think Hunter's going to fall. I think Cleveland, if they don't take a quarterback with the 2nd position overall in the draft, is going to take Abdul Carter and put him next to Garrett on the defensive line. So that would leave the Patriots with a stud. You could actually see Hunter, Diggs, Bourne, Demario Douglas as your wide receiving core. And then the 5th wide receiver, you have all those other wide receivers that could vie for the 5th spot, or maybe they keep a 6th wide receiver too. But that would be a very good wide receiving core. Of course, that would happen once Stefon Diggs comes back, if he is signed and plays week 5. So I'm thinking with the 2nd round pick, maybe jumping back into the end of the 1st round is where you're going to get your offensive tackle. Names like offensive tackle Josh Simmons from Ohio State, Arian Ursary from Minnesota could be names to look out for in the top of the 2nd round. But I wanted to come at you today, this morning, giving you my insight. I would like your feedback. Please leave me some comments below the video on what you would like the Patriots to do in the upcoming draft. Would you like them to sign Stefon Diggs? Is he a fit in New England? Please like my video. Subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed already. Let's keep this channel growing. Also, I have another channel out there, Patriots Draft Forecast, as I have just released Mock Draft 2, giving you my insight in that draft on how they would draft. This was the first mock draft that I did post free agency last week. I will be doing another mock draft the end of this week. Should come out maybe over the weekend, or it could be a mock draft Monday type mock draft. But that's going to be mock draft 3. Look forward to that. It's going to have some interesting picks. Maybe Hunter slips to them. Maybe they draft a tackle in the second round. But look forward to that draft. I will have some sleeper wide receivers and running backs actually in that draft as well. Richie Rich, the New England Football Edition. Please like my videos below. I'm trying to get to 1,000 likes on all these videos, and I'm trying to get to 3,500 subscribers by the end of next week. Thank you. Bye-bye. This has been Richie Rich.